to notice that all of them are sepia or blue tone.
Well, that's because
Do you only like photos that
that's
are
because
sepia?
they're old.
Hi, my name is Tishara Linares, and I'm the marketing coordinator at Artworks, and I'm here with Cliff Ward, and we'll be talking about his new upcoming show, I'll Make Me a World. The prologue will be at Artworks, and the main exhibition will be at Grounds for Sculpture. Tell me more about the background space here.
I always had the tendency to collect pictures, to cut out pictures of newspapers, things that interest me. And when I decided to pursue my art career, I decided I would just clip everything that I thought that could help me in my creativity. And so I have athletes, musicians, politicians, art cards for shows, you name it, it's on this wall. And every now and then I get inspired. There are pictures from this wall that I've actually made pieces from. But it's really just an inspiration, people that are doing things that are making a difference in everyday life. I just capture them and put them on the wall. I love indigenous cultures, and indigenous cultures, when I learned about some of their practices, the cultures, the rituals, that has all been such a big part of my life. And I just love the world of make-believe. And that's what this all is. It's make-believe. It's my world that I have created. But mythology is very, very important to me and my work, because I'm making stories, and I'm basing it on some things that happened with other people, other cultures, but a lot of it is my own invention also, my take on those various cultures and rituals and practices. So that's a big part of the work, common denominator. My goal for my work is to bring my work as close to life as it is possible to bring something to life that's inanimate. So it gives me a wide range to create from, starting with just an empty vessel and trying to convey my thoughts, but to present it in a way that there's feeling. It's not just a three-dimensional object. There's something behind it. There's a spirituality. And a lot of that I've learned from indigenous cultures, Native American, Maori people, New Zealand, the Aboriginal people in Australia, and in many African cultures. And these cultures, they really rely on the spiritual quality in the word, the spiritual essence. And they believe that, trees, various plants, objects have a life force. And so when people stand within animism, I want them to feel that. And so I've really embraced the animism quality, because this body of work, these 24 figures, definitely have a presence, an essence to them that is felt by most people. I never considered myself an Afrofuturist. I mean, I was doing work that had names of aliens and what have you before I even heard this term. And this term didn't come to play until I think it was the 90s, this guy named Mark Derry. But Afrofuturism was being done in the 50s. You have one of the most, I call him the grandfather of Afrofuturism, is Sun Ra, who's a musician, very flamboyant. But then you have other people. You have literature. You have Octavia Butler, who was one of the premier Afrofuturist writers. You have groups like Earth, Wind and Fire, Parliament Funkadelic, the Mothership Starship, Janelle Monáe, Missy Elliott. They've all dabbled in Afrofuturism, and it's really just bringing the past into the future, or I would say modernizing it. And the epitome of Afrofuturism is Black Panther. That is the epitome of Afrofuturism. I just make work that I like and that I feel, but for some reason, it fits into that genre, and I don't fight it, I embrace it. But I didn't set out to say, well, I'm going to make this piece, it's going to be this alien because I want to be an Afrofuturist. No, I did a piece back in the 90s called The Afralians, based on Africa and aliens. And I had never even heard of this term. So I was doing this genre before it was actually popularized.
You started it.
Oh, I don't.
You started it, basically.
I want to make things that are not already here. Like you have artists that are hyper realist or realism. My work is not realistic. There's so much abstraction in my work, and that's what I really gravitate towards. I don't want to make something that's already. I don't want to make a human. I don't want to make a perfect human face and everything. I want to distort this face in some kind of way. Just give it something different. Give it something extra. Give it something unique and individual. And that's always the goal in creating the work. If you look at the color in a lot of my work, it's that brown, beige, black. It's all based on African mud cloth. I've always been really fascinated with African mud cloth and the process, the year of fermentation of the mud, the dye that's used. I don't make the African mud cloth, but I like that color arrangement because it's all earth based, and that is a big part of my work with all of the browns, the off whites, the black that's in the work. It's all based on,
Sepia.
yes, the sepia. It's all based on African mud cloth. So that's a big part of the aesthetic, the finish of the work.
Well, I am so excited to see the entire body of art
Yeah.
at Grounds for Sculpture, and then also the prologue at Artworks.
Yes.
So the main show at Grounds for Sculpture will be displayed on May 18 through January 11, 2026. And then you can also check out the prologue at Artworks on February 1st to April 12th.
And I love the fact that I'm working with these two wonderful organizations, one of which is my home, and the other one is in my neighborhood. I've just been an elected member of the National Sculpture Society, so you can go on NSS and see my profile and things that are happening there. And I'm just busy trying to get these shows underway to hopefully please our audience and ourselves too.
Well, we'll leave you in your studio to continue working.